Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is Bloodborne DLC. This is a slowed down trailer that was most recently released, showcasing some of the elements that's going to be happening, or being released later on, because as you know folks, Bloodborne's getting a DLC. We all kinda knew it was coming, and we can happily rejoice in the fact that a game that is sublime and terrific, but a little bit lacking when it comes to content, because the emphasis on the design, I think, went towards, of course, the Chalice dungeons that perhaps weren't as interesting as I think they thought they were. So now we're getting new content, so I've slowed this down, and we're going to go from here. So as you can see from this, we've kind of got some familiar elements. We saw the hand of one of the old ones, the amygdala creatures, and then we've got some interesting Bloodborne-esque architecture, to which the game is declaring, yes, this is Bloodborne. Here's our font that's going to linger thanks to the fact that you've slowed this down to half speed. And then we have a beautiful panorama there of Yharnam, and some places that you'll remember if you were paying attention to the architecture in a very particular time of day. So this looks a hell of a lot like the... Where the hell is that? It looked a little bit like the place where you fought Gascoigne, but I don't remember the flowers. That looks a lot like that place in the dream. That looks a little bit like... I mean, it looks like a million things, doesn't it? That's a witch hat. That looks cool as shit. I'm going to spot some details here, and I'm going to miss some. That weapon looks pretty beastly. It's a Kirk hammer that goes into some crazy circular saw, which I'm very excited about. But my preview window is artifacting so much, this is like watching Minecraft. So if there's something super obvious and I don't see it, it's because it probably looked like Japanese pornography. But this looks a little bit like the Nightmare of Mensis and the staircase that you slapped around those little children's in the Iron Maiden mask things. This is... what, like a flaming hammer thing that he puts together? A bit of Hunter on Hunter action with something that looks a lot like the Scythe, but it looks kind of different too. That might just be the Scythe and I've not seen it in a while. A bow and arrow! Shooting the monsters that are the worst things to fight in the game. Some crazy heavy version of the saw cleaver that looks like a whip. Is that an actual transformation? I haven't used that weapon enough to really know. And then a boss fight. Watch this, he's got an elemental cleaver. Is that just a cleaver with the resin on it? Or is it something else? I have no idea. That dog looks unwell. It also has two heads. And then there's a new boss, which... I'm a little concerned about the look of this boss. It has limbs everywhere, it has wide sweeping attacks. It's a Bloodborne boss, which means it's going to hit you when it misses you, and it's going to annoy me. There is a new spell. There is some kind of fire thing. Look at that! He's using a shield! And some crazy spiky thing. Is that a lance? It transformed into a scythe with like a pick on it. Why does it look like there's more weapons in the DLC than in the game? Look at this move! And it missed, of course. And then a flaming version of the Cleric Beast, which... I still think the Cleric Beast is probably the hardest boss in the game, because he's an asshole. And then some kind of weird looking clock tower mechanism, and some very moody lighting, and more artifacting. I am so excited, guys. I don't think I need to elaborate why. I love Bloodborne, and I'm currently teasing a walkthrough that I've made, and I'm intentionally holding it back a little bit, just so that people really crave it. When it turns up, you can enjoy it. And the videos are coming, folks. It's just a lot of production went into this one. It was two separate playthroughs. One to get all the things to edit into it to make it a bit fancier, and another one to get all the gameplay. And I really want it to do well, and it's doing pretty well. It's just one of those things where I think Bloodborne and a lot of people's interest in it might have dwindled, which I don't really understand. It must be the whole PvP thing, because the PvP seems to be kind of lacking, but I still love that game and I'm still looking forward to covering it, and this DLC gives me just the best excuse to get back in there once I've got a few other projects finished, because a lot of stuff happening right now, folks. I'm trying to roll them all out, but there will be more Bloodborne. It's looking great. I cannot wait, and you take care now.